Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Faces of the Jewellery Quarter, and it's a special one this week. The reason being is it with Jen from In Bloom, and the reason why it's special is because In Bloom actually did the flowers for our recent wedding in February, which was amazing. So I just want to sort of drop that in, but it was pretty special. So thanks for inviting us in today, Jenny.
You're welcome.
And In Bloom. You've sort of got involved how long ago in Bloom?
I got involved with In Bloom about 5 years ago.
Yeah. But In Bloom has been going for, is it 12 years?
It is 12 years, yeah.
Yeah. And you've had a fairly recent change to the business, haven't you? Because for 12 years, I think you were based on Vi Street.
For a long time we were based on Vi Street, yes, and we had to move at the end of last year, which was a bit of a shame, but we embraced it and have moved to this wonderful light and airy studio.
It's a big old studio, isn't it, with the lights coming through? Yeah.
It's pretty big and pretty overwhelming, but we wanted to stay in the Jewellery Quarter. We've got some good clients here, so we really wanted to stay and keep our presence in the Jewellery Quarter, and we've managed to do that, but we have moved.
That's good, all right. Change is a good thing, but yeah, so most people will probably recognise In Bloom on the Vi Street, sort of a nice sort of window that pops out, balcony place, and everybody sort of recognise it. But you have moved, you're on now Spencer Street.
Spencer Street, yes.
Street, number 30?
35 to 37,
35 to 37, so obviously if you're wandering around knocking on the door, it's not because they've gone to sleep or they haven't turned to work today, it's just because they moved to Spencer Street.
Yeah,
so
we haven't disappeared off the face
no,
of the earth.
Yeah.
No.
So you mentioned mostly sort of custom is kind of around the Jewellery Quarter. You've kind of a sort of a home here now.
Yeah.
But what kind of customers do you have? Because you sort of split into three, isn't it? Your business.
Yeah, our main client base is sort of corporates or people that we visit on a weekly basis and take flowers to, and that's very varying. So jewellers, cafes, restaurants, offices. There's a big mixed bag, and they all have different requirements.
Yeah.
But we also obviously do bouquets and events for individuals, and the best part of the business, in my opinion, is our weddings.
Of course, yeah. And you do a good job. A quick question about the bouquets. When you got, so most of the bouquets people are coming to you for are probably for, I don't know, say anniversaries, Valentine's, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we do Valentine's, obviously Mother's Day, even Christmas is a big time for bouquets. But just in general, if people have specific requirements, like they want specific flowers or a specific look, our bouquets are a bit different to other florists in the area. Everyone is made individually, so they're not sort of, you can't just pick one off a chart and say, I want that one.
Yeah.
So it just takes a little bit more thought process. We work with the customer to get what they want.
So how does that work? Typically they could sort of walk off the street, or they could sort of phone you up and then sort of explain to you the kind of occasion it's for and what the recipient kind of likes.
Yeah, exactly that. So a call is most often the way we receive an order for a bouquet, and we'll just talk to the client, because we deliver as well, so we can take bouquets to people in the area. So we just talk about what the recipient would like, and what's her favourite colour or his favourite colour, any specific flowers. And yeah, sort of most of our bouquets are ordered a day or two in advance, but that doesn't mean to say that someone can't come in and we can make something up with stock that we have on site.
On the day, right. I've always wondered actually, because I remember I think I probably ordered a flower probably too long ago, so Katie's listening, I'll probably do it again someday. But you always kind of ask, you want a kind of a card to go with it, and do you want us to write something on it? Now, do you get any silly requests that they actually have the guts to ask you to write? Yeah.
I've had a few good ones.
Have you got anyone in particular that you can actually share with us?
Oh, I don't know. Privacy. Let me have a think. Oh goodness, put me on the spot. We've had a couple around Valentine's Day that were a bit cheeky.
Yes.
Which I would not read again. But no. So I mean, some are quite heartfelt and really, you just make you sort of go. And,
so people do put some thought into it.
Definitely. Especially when you're putting, because flowers, they're not cheap, and when you're putting some money into a product, and the thought that goes into the flowers from In Bloom, you want it to be special and mean, more than your average bunch of flowers. So that's what we kind of pride ourselves on, really.
Yeah, no offence to Tesco's or any kind of petrol stations out there, but I'm pretty sure the recipient will know the difference between an in bloom sort of bouquet and something you picked up on your way home. So it's just a
We'd hope
word of
so.
wisdom for
Yeah,
you. And what made you get into floristry yourself? So obviously 5 years ago you sort of joined Kate, the other owner.
Yeah, 5 years ago I joined Kate. I'd been travelling after university, which was nothing, I'd studied nothing to do with flowers. Went travelling, came back to Birmingham, fell into a different job, and I was just really unhappy and not feeling like fulfilling any creativity that I had or wanted to express. So I started. Being a florist is something I'd sort of talked about for years and mentioned to my friends, but don't really think I thought it was a viable option. I don't know why I didn't. So anyway, I just looked at getting some personal experience in a workshop, and I came across Kate probably on Facebook and got in touch, and we did a workshop together. And off the back of that, I was offered a part-time job, so I had to juggle work for quite a long time.
So a lot going on once for a period of your life, but it was all well worth it.
All worth it. Yeah.
And so now you've gone kind of through all that process. Is it kind of what you expected? I mean, also I'd like to also add, when we were looking to get our flowers for the wedding, just like most things in life, I don't think there's actually much to it. You just like we're having plastering in the house, and I didn't realise there was much to that until I actually spoke to the plasterer. So yeah, when I actually sat down with you and actually started going through the whole process, and the amount of knowledge that you had about flowers and trying to explain what was in season, what would go with what, and the colour palette and all the rest of it, I realised there's actually a lot to it, isn't there?
There is quite a lot to it, and most of it comes with experience. Essentially, at the heart of everything, it's the clients that we're here for. So the clients, to make them happy and to make their dreams on their big day come true. Yeah. So everything is client based, and I've always loved working with people. So the essence of that is all the same. I mean, giving someone their wedding flowers on the day and seeing their reaction is, it's priceless, and it makes everything worthwhile.
Yeah, so you get quite a bit of satisfaction from it.
Yeah, definitely.
That is good. And so what would you say kind of differentiates yourself from all the other florists out there? Obviously you are a successful florist, you've got a very good name for yourselves, and obviously I see loads of pictures on Instagram all the time, you do great work, but how do you think you differ from everybody else?
I think it's a bit of a hard one. I think essentially, like I said, the client comes first, and that we'll try and bend over backwards to do whatever we need to do to make our clients happy. The company's been here for so long, and we've just grown really slowly, and over time we've built up a reputation more by word of mouth than anything. Instagram does help, but we don't have a massive following. It's just the proof is in our work, really. And we take that time.
What's your Instagram handle so people can start following?
It's in bloom flowers JQ. Yeah. Okay, so in bloom flowers JQ.
Get following. Lots of pretty pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, and and your website address is
www.inbloomflowers.co.uk.
Okay. And if people go there, they're not going to see your, like a catalogue, like some of the websites, some of the florists have sort of Interflora, nothing against them, but you have kind of like pick number 25 or this, that, the other. That isn't how it works.
It's definitely not.
Everything's kind of bespoke and tailored to...
It is, yes. The website will just give you a sort of an idea of our style and the work that we do, tell you a little bit about the staff that work here, and then we do require our customers to sort of pick up the phone and get in touch with us. So
jolly good. And people can always come down to Spencer Street, see a new place. You're in the middle of doing this up. There's huge potential in this place at the moment, and you're currently looking about different types of wallpaper and colour palettes and all the rest of it. So it's work in progress, but it looks great at the moment.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking up your time this morning, and hopefully everybody gets a chance to try out the flowers, come down and meet Jen, Kate and Katie, just to confuse you. So thanks very much for joining us this week, and thank you, Jen.
You're welcome. Thanks.